Alright, welcome back. This is Board Game Officer. So today we are going to go over two new Chronicles of Drunagor characters here. So I got these characters off of an update quite a few months ago. They had shown off these two characters here with all their cards and everything. This is not exclusive to me whatsoever. This was available to everyone. What I wanted to do, I'm going to do what I've done with all my other videos. I'm just going to do chapter 2 with 1.5 rules, but I'm going to use the old one-shot rules, which means every time I kill an enemy, I'll move this up 1, and it'll just go back and forth. So I'll gain a skill cube, then I'll gain a class, and then I'll choose the focus, shield, or cleanse or heal. Basically, my reason for this is so you could really see how these characters build. So this is not to show you anything about the actual storyline. I won't do any story. I won't do any interaction token because I don't want to spoil anything of that, because that's part of the fun of this game, is seeing what's coming up. As you can see here, I've got all of their level up abilities here. I've also got their class abilities here. So real quick, I'm just going to run through their basic abilities each so we know what each of them does. And then as we go and as we level up, we'll look at what their upgraded abilities will be. Alright, so the first character here we have Andreas, the human cleric, which if you know anything about Chronicles, this is actually really cool because this was actually created after an actual person. If you're in the Discord or anything, you know exactly who this is. So this is Andreas. He's a human cleric. His special trait just in general is Bash, which Bash means anytime one of the abilities has these brackets around it, he can spend 2 shields to activate that ability during that cube action. So let's look at this first one here. A Vigorous Strike. You can heal 2, semicolon, +2 hit, then Bash. So this, if he has 2 shields, he could spend those 2 shields to do this following thing, which is another hero in cube range, make an attack of +0 hit. His shield swing is Self Shield 2, Cleave 2, and +0 hit. He could basically do this shield 2, and then right after that go and do this and use those 2 shields to do that bash. Then his Battle Focus, Focus 1 and Cleanse 1. Then Shield Throw, which is another shield, Self Shield 2, and a +2 hit. Then he has Rearrange, Move 3, Self, Fatigue 1, and Empower. So Empower is actually something new with the Apocalypse expansion. So Empower means your next attack, you're going to get +4 damage until the end of your turn, depending on which one comes first. So that's Empower. Then Onward. A hero moves 3, heal 2, and bash, which if he spends 2 shields, he can make another attack of +0 hit. Then he has a Hero Backer. As a passive ability, attacks made by other heroes commanded by you gain a bonus of +3 to hit, meaning all of these +0 hits for someone else are actually +3 hit. And then he has Divert, Prevent 3, and he starts with a heavy weapon and plate armor. And then he is the cleric, so he has the normal cleric abilities, and I will be playing him as the leader. I'm really interested on how this playthrough goes, because I actually don't like the leader unless you're playing with multiple people, but only playing with 2 characters. Usually the leader is not the one I go for. However, because of his passive ability, if someone is commanded by him, he gets a +3 hit, and the leader, that's basically what they do, is they give someone else a chance to hit. So I wanted to try it. I feel like that will be a really good mix to have. So I'm interested to see how that works. So the Sword Mage is a new class within the Apocalypse expansion. He has what they call Entropy. Now Entropy, when you gain 4 Entropy, you can discard all 4 of them, which means Burst, an entropy burst. What that means is if you discard all 4 tokens, you can have another cube action that turn. So his abilities here is Righteous Blade, Self Entropy 1, and +0 hit and Intimidate 2. Then Punishing Strike, Self Entropy 1, +0 hit, and +1 damage per Intimidate token on the target. Once again, I really like how these kind of play off of each other. Then Battle Focus, Focus 1 and Cleanse 1. Overwhelm. Whenever you trigger an Entropy Burst, Intimidate 2. Once again, playing off that Punishing Strike. Then he has Move 1, Self Entropy 1, Swap with a small character, and the strongest one among you 2 suffers Intimidate 2 and Slow. So just to clarify, Swap means what it sounds like. You'll take a small character and you will swap yourself with that character. And then Intervention, Self Intimidate 2, but then you get to Prevent 5. That's an interesting trade. And then he also has Divert, Prevent 3, and Inner Might, Self Entropy 2, and Intimidate 2. Obviously, he plays off of Intimidate and Entropy, so that's actually pretty cool. And then I'm having him be the Defender. That way we have another possibility for another range attack and kind of extra movement, because I've got 2 melee characters. And then he has a Light Weapon and leather armor. We'll go through the class abilities when we go there, but he does have a new one for the sword mage, so we'll go through those later. So as you can see here, I'm going to have Andreas be the brown one as it fits his background, and Azriel, it will be blue to fit his background, just so it's easier to tell who's who. And here we are to the board. As I said, this is Chapter 2, and Chapter 2 opens up with nothing, so I'm just going straight through to Door 1. So there are little spoilers in that sense of the door setup. However, I'm not doing any story, and it's only Chapter 2. So what we have out here is we have a skeleton archer, a rotten flesh, and a shadow vampire. So here's our initiative track. As you can see, we have Azriel as the defender, we have Andreas as the leader, and then we have our 3 monsters here. The shadow vampire is going to be the rookie alternate version. We have the skeleton archer, which is also the rookie alternate, and then we have the rotten flesh, which is the flip one. So each time we'll flip it over. So we will start off here with Azriel as the defender, and then we'll go on to the shadow vampire next. Alright, so Azriel is melee, so I will have him move 1, 2 to get up next to this rotten flesh. And I am going to do a righteous blade, which is self-entropy 1, so we'll throw 1 there. And then it's a +0 hit and intimidate 2. So let's go ahead and roll to see if we hit. And we will roll. Oh no, we missed our very first hit of the... that ruins everything because now I don't intimidate either. Well, there we go. Let's just go ahead and move on to the next one. We will self-entropy again. And now we have a plus hit, but we do not have any +1 damage because we did not intimidate. So let's go ahead and roll for that. Alright. Digital dice, I do not like them. That's a great start to this. Alright, I guess that's his turn. So as you can see, it is the shadow vampire's turn. And he is going to jump, relentless, and then vicious. So relentless means that he's going to go after the hero with the least amount of cubes. And vicious means that I cannot block any of the damage. Luckily, it's only 1 damage. And he has a movement of 5. So here's the shadow vampire. He's going to go 1, 2, 3. Since Azriel just went, he has the least amount of available action cubes. So the shadow vampire will attack him for 1 unblockable damage. With him being the defender, at least he's got 3 extra ones, so he'll just go down 1. And that's all for his turn. And now we'll go to Andreas' turn. Ooh, this actually works out perfect. So what we're going to do his movement 1, 2. And then we're going to do this self-shield 2. So we self-shield 2, and then we get a cleave 2 and a +0 hit. And since we actually can cleave 2 right now, let's just hope we don't miss again. So let's roll. 13! That was a hit. So we do both of them at 3 damage. And that is yellow and pink. Yellow goes down 3, and pink goes down 3. So that was the first cube action. Now we are going to go here, heal 2, which I am adjacent to Azriel, so I will heal him for 2. But he only got hurt for 1, so he just heals 1, but he's back up to full health. And then I get a +2 hit, so let's go ahead and roll for that +2. Yeah, barely hit, but that's a hit. And that was to the shadow vampire. So 1, 2, 3. Now what I will do is I will do that bash. So I'm going to spend this to shield. So I can have a hero within cube range, which he is adjacent, to make a hit of +0 hit. However, his passive ability is +3 to hit, so he will actually get to roll +3 to hit for his attack. So we'll come over here to have Azriel roll for this +3 to hit attack. 18! He does not have a 16 plus ability, but 18 is a hit. Just to verify, this was against the shadow vampire again. And that goes 1, 2, 3 and kills the shadow vampire. And because we're playing with the old one-shot rules, we get to move this here. And now each hero gets a hero skill ability cube, meaning we get to decide which one of these abilities we want to unlock. So our options here is Enduring Strike, heal 1 and cleanse 1 and a +3 hit, or a 1 damage and stun, and then a bash, another hero within cube range can make it an attack of +0 hit, or jump 2 and you jump 2 and then you and up to 1 adjacent ally, prevent 1, and shield 2. Which, if you see here, this is actually a new symbol as well. This is called the interrupt symbol. So this is also new to the apocalypse. Interrupt means that it happens in between them activating the ability and actually doing the damage. They interrupt, so whatever happens before that. Meaning, you get to jump before they do the attack. So if this jump, if I understand this right, if this jump you move out of their range, that means you do not get hit. You do not get hurt. And then if you are up to one adjacent ally, you each prevent 1 and shield 2. And then positive feedback, you can heal 4. Wow. Shield 2 and then bash. If the target is another hero, they may make an attack of +0 hit. And that gives you a shield 2. That's interesting. I'm wondering, I'm not sure of the timing on that. Does that mean you could gain those shield, do you gain the shield 2 and then you could use it as the bash? Or because it's a comma, you can't use the bash, or you can't use those 2 shields for that bash. Because it's kind of newer, I'm sure that hasn't been answered yet. So that's interesting. We'll see if I unlock it. I don't know if I'll unlock that one anyways yet. So, or we could do the leader one, which is tactical planning. Whenever you roll 16 plus, target ally may move 3 and make an attack of +0 hit and +1 damage. That's not too bad. What I'm going to do is we just need some more range abilities. So I'm going to take this range ability, which is the Dazzling Bolt, 1 damage and stun, and then bash another hero within cube range may make an attack. That way, we could stun the enemies if we needed, and we still could get attack off, hopefully, with it if the other hero is within range. Now we'll come over here to Azriel and see what we got here. We got Self-Entropy 1, and then +0 hit. That's not too bad. Or Self-Entropy 2, 1 damage and Intimidate 2. Also not too bad. Jump 3, Self-Entropy 1, and Stealth. Ooh, Stealth is always fun. And Self-Entropy 2 and Focus 1. Or then for the Defender, you and up to 1 adjacent ally, shield 3. So I think I'm going to go with the Blade Typhoon, Self-Entropy 1 and +0 hit. Because with Andreas' ability to make other people attack, that means Azriel needs to be within melee range for that to even work. So I don't want him to have to use range abilities because I want him to be adjacent to the enemies. Alright, now that we're done with that, let's go ahead, get rid of the Shadow Vampire there, and move on to the Shadow Archer's turn. What he's going to do, he does have range. He's Bloodseeker, meaning he's going to go after the weakest hero. He's got 6 health, and he's going to move 4 damage, and burn 1. So Andreas is the weaker of the two because Azriel does have more health because of the Defender. So to put him into range, all the Skeleton Archer needs to do is that. And now Andreas is within range. And he is doing 4 damage. So let's see what we can't do to block this. So it looks like all I have is a Divert or Endure, which is both prevent 3. So that means I am going to get burned. So let's go ahead and do this prevent 3 here. So I will take 1 damage and gain 1 burn. Then we'll come over here, and it is the Rotten Flesh's turn. So the Rotten Flesh this turn, he is melee. However, he's already adjacent to both heroes. Covetous means that he's going to attack the hero with the most resource tokens on them, which Entropy is, so it will be Azriel because he's got 2 Entropy, and he does not have any resource tokens, which are positive tokens. And then he will bleed 1 and knock down, and he's attacking for 4 damage. So I could self-intimidate 2 and prevent 5, but once again that's intimidate 2, and I think I'd rather take the bleed and knockdown. So I'm going to prevent 3, so I'll take 1 damage, and I will take 1 bleed and knockdown. And I will just come up here, flip him over, just so I remember that he's knocked down. And now we will come here to the end and draw 1 ruin. We have drawn a green, straight 1. And as you can see, there's not 1 over here, but there is 1 here, so it'll be placed just like that. So we will flip that 1 over for next time, and we'll start back over with Azriel's turn. So he gets hurt 1 from that bleed, and then he will use all of his movement to stand up, which is fine because he's already adjacent to who he needs to be adjacent to, which actually is not good because he doesn't have a ranged attack right now. I forgot to give both of these guys an extra cube. So he does have 1 melee cube here, so he'll self-entropy 1 once again, but now he has +0 hit. Andreas' leader is adjacent allies gain +2 to their attack, and they are adjacent, so this will be a +2 and a +2 attack against the Rotten Flesh. So let's go ahead and roll here. 15, nice. Alright, so that is 3 damage. Rotten Flesh is pink, so 1, 2, 3 damage. And second roll, 13, that's another 3 damage, 2, 3. And I am going to self-shield 2, and then move 2, which I'm just going to move 1 back, so now I can do that ranged attack. And I have a +0 hit, however, I am still adjacent to Andreas, so I get a +2 hit. 16, man, I wish I had some 16 plus abilities. However, that is 3 more damage to the rotten flesh. 1, 2, 3, and that will kill him. And since we killed another monster, we get to move this up and we each get a hero class. And with him, I'm going to give him darkness resistance, so you suffer no damage from darkness. That is going to be helpful. Alright, so for him, I'm going to +2 movement. Since he's our melee character, I want to make sure he can get to all the enemies. And that is the end of Azriel's turn. However, right before I end, I am going to take a willing recall. So I bring back all the cubes, and I'm going to place a curse cube on Inner Might. Now, it is Andreas' turn. So as you can see, Andreas is already in range 1 of the skeleton archer. So he doesn't even need to move to do this next one. He will self-shield 2. Bring that. Oh, he does take 1 damage from that burn. And then he will do a +2 hit. 17. Still don't have a 16 plus ability. However, that is a hit. So that will do 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. See, here's where I have a problem with the leader. And with this, another hero within cube range make an attack. Because right now, he has 3 ways to attack, but it's for another hero. And as you can see, Azriel is not within range. Because when you command someone else, their range for that attack goes off of whatever weapon they have. So because he has a melee weapon, he has to be within melee range for Andreas to command him to do an attack. So even though I have 3 ways to do an attack, with him over here, all 3 of those attacks do no good. Now, if you had 3, 4, 5 players, you are much more likely to have someone within range to be able to do an attack, which is why I don't love playing the leader with only 2 players. However, that's what I chose, so we're going to make the best of it. So what I am going to do, I am going to do this 1 damage and stun. So 1 damage, and then we do stun him. That way he at least won't attack us. And that is it for his turn, so we will do a willing recall for him as well. And we will put it on rear range. Move 3, self-fatigue 1, and empower. Alright, so I actually lied. I didn't realize the assault is target ally may move 3 and may make an attack. See? But if I use a red... Oh, I'll just have to use the green cube. Because I can't use the red cube because he's adjacent to me and red needs to be range of 1. But I could use the green cube because then he could be anywhere and target ally may make a move of 3. So Azriel will go 1, 2, 3. So now he is adjacent and may make an attack of +0 hit. However, he gets a +3 to the hit and a +1 damage, which doesn't matter because he only has 3 health. But let's go ahead and roll that. So we'll roll for Azriel's attack here. 12, that's a hit. And that means 1, 2, 3. And that skeleton archer is a goner. So because we killed 1, we get to move this up. So we get to choose between a focus, shield 1, cleanse 1, or heal 2. And for both of them, I'm going to focus. I forgot to go over their focus ability. So Andreas has Inspiring Word, where he heals 2, shield 2, and make an attack of +0 hit. Or also for 2 focus, he can self-prevent all damage, just straight up. That's pretty cool. And then Azriel has, for 2 focus, Bouncing Rush, +0 hit, self-jump 3, +0 hit, so that's cool. And Commandment for 3 focus, +3 hit, +2 damage, Intimidate 2, and Stun. That's going to be super beneficial if we could get that pulled off. So we have killed all monsters. So that is Andreas' turn. I will do a willing recall for him as well. And put a curse cube on rear range. And now we go and draw 2 runes this time. Which we draw a red, 1 red U and then a red straight. And this is going after Azriel because he's got more health. So we can actually place it like that because it's trying to get after him. So that gets us close and we could do it anyway. So we could go right around Andreas right there. And then we have a straight. And sadly, that is going to get Azriel right here. So it is going to hurt him for 1 and 2. So we'll put those on the board there. Flip that over for next time. Azriel's turn again. So he's going to start off by opening up that chest. Let's go ahead and roll this bad dice here. Burn 2. So we'll burn him 2. Shuffle up the treasure deck. And he gets Scroll of Displacement. Discard to 5 damage as a spell and Telekinesis 3 and Stun. I love those scrolls, man. That's awesome. Now he will go 1, 2, 3. You know what? I'm going to open up the door right now. Even though Andreas is a little behind, I'm going for it and I'm opening the door. All right, so here we have the door open. We've got an Executioner, Shadow Cultist, and a big old Shadow Knight. We're still here, and I used all my movement, so I actually can't really do anything right now. I could move another one for a cube, or I could also try to do Join the Fray to move some more. So Azriel gets burned for 2 at the beginning of his turn. I forgot about that. Oh, I have +2 movement. So I moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll use that to move another 3. Well, actually another 5 because my movement's 5. I'll go 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I'm going to do this, self-entropy 1, +0 hit, +0 hit. And I'm going to attack the Shadow Cultist. 11, that's a hit. That's 1, 2, 3. And now we got another one. 8, that's barely a hit, but that's a hit. That's 1, 2, 3. And now I'm going to do my entropy burst. So I discard all 4 of these. And because of my overwhelm, I get to put an Intimidate 2 onto a target, which I'm actually going to put it onto the Executioner. So we'll put it there. I'll show you why here in a second. And now I'm going to do my self-entropy 1. So I bring 1 right back. +0 hit and Intimidate 2. But I'm actually going to attack the Executioner. 19, that is a hit. So I do 1, 2, 3 damage there. And I actually do Intimidate 4 now. Meaning he will not hurt me next time, which is awesome. That's why I wanted to do that. So that's the end of Azriel's turn. It is now Andreas' turn. Now what I'm going to do for him, 1, 2, 3. Now, he does not suffer any of the damage from that darkness. Super handy there. But he is going to stop right there. And he is going to make target ally makes an attack of +0 hit, +0 hit once again. However, he gets a +3 to this hit. And he's adjacent to 2 of them. And the Shadow Cultist only has 3 health. So hopefully he'll be able to kill him and hurt the Executioner. Roll for that +3 hit. That is a 6. It's got a +3, so that does hit. And that was to the Shadow Cultist. So the Shadow Cultist is down. Once again, we get to come here, and we get another hero ability cube. So the only one that's different availability from last time is we could do this level 2, which is whenever you command another hero to make an attack, self-shield 2. Wow. That could be beneficial, which is why it's a level 2. But actually, I think I'm going to do tactical planning. Whenever you roll 16+, target ally may move 3 and make an attack with +0 hit and +1 damage. Because I feel like that actually might be really handy, that move end thing. So that's what I'm going to do for him. So this is a little cheating because I'm going to take a level 2 skill, which this early on is super powerful. But I want to show you what it's like to be able to level these people up. So I'm going to take this level 2 melee attack, which is Judgment Day. Self-entropy 2, +0 hit, and if the target is affected by Intimidate, double damage. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. All right, and that was just the first +0 hit from this attack. So we get one more +0 hit, which is actually +3 because it's Andreas. So we'll roll for that +3 hit. 19! He's the one that doesn't have a 16+ still. However, that is a hit. So that is 3 more. 1, 2, 3. All right. So, and then my second one, I'm going to do Assault, which, because it's blue, target ally may move 3 and make an attack of +0 hit and +1 damage. But because it's Andreas, he gets a +3 to that hit, or to that roll. 13 will do it. And that was +1 damage, so that's 4. So down to 2 health already. And that is going to be Andreas' turn. We killed the Shadow Cultist. It is now the Shadow Knight's turn. He's got Relentless, Strike 1, Burn 1, and Fatigue 1. Whew, buddy. Once again, Relentless is the one with the least amount of available action cubes, which at the moment, Andreas has 4, and Azriel only has 3. So he will go after Azriel. Makes sense, he's pretty close. So he's going to move 1 to there, so now he's within range 1 of Azriel. And Burn 1, Fatigue 1, and 4 damage. I will use this to prevent 3, which he still hurts me for 1. So that means I burn for another 1. Next turn, I'm going to get hurt. Oh man, as Fatigue 1. Yeah, let's Fatigue that one. Dang. Alright, so that was his turn. Now we go to the Executioner. And he's going to Cleave 2, Bleed 1, and Slow. However, he's got 4 hits, but he also has 4 Intimidate. So we will take those Intimidate away. And he didn't need to move, so he does no damage. Azriel doesn't need to block anything. That means we will now draw another rune. And we draw a blue, little large zigzag. And right now they are both actually at 8. Therefore, Azriel is first in the initiative track, so it will go after Azriel, which it actually can get to him. Dang, what are the chances of that? I didn't think it would be able to get to him. And 2 more damage. Whoo, he's hurting because he's going to get hurt. Buddy, I need to do some healing. All right, Flip that over. And it is Azriel's turn again. He's gonna get hurt for 3. 1, 2, 3. And that's gonna take down to 2. And what do we want to do, man? He needs to heal. This is bad. Well, let's go ahead and self-entropy 2 here. And +0 hit. He is not affected by Intimidate, so it's just a normal attack. 13, that'll do it. That is to the Executioner. So the Executioner's dead. Move him off the board. And we get to level up again for our class this time. For him, I'm going to do Purifying Light. Whenever you roll 16 plus, you may remove a darkness tile from the board. That might be like crucial. And I am going to come here with the Aether Cloak. Whenever you take a recall action, self-entropy 2. So that's going to be kind of helpful. That way I could get a little bit more entropy faster there. Alright, so that was my last cube action. Now I have to take an unwilling recall. And I forgot to grab a new cube, so I'm grabbing a green cube for this one. And then I grabbed another melee cube for this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to self-entropy 1, which gives me my 4th one again. +0 hit and intimidate 2. So I'll place my 2 intimidate on him. And have a +0 hit. 15 is a hit. So I will do 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. And now I will make a burst, which when I do a burst, I get to intimidate 2. So I will intimidate another 2. And then I will self-entropy 1, bring one of those back. +0 hit, but +1 damage per intimidate token on the target. That means he has 4, so it's a +4 damage. That means this is a 7 damage attack, but it's only a +0 hit, so let's hope we hit. That's a hit, and that's an 18. I still don't have a 16 plus, but that was a hit, and that is 7 damage. So 9 down to 2 damage already. That is awesome. And now that is everything for his turn. However, he might die this next turn. We'll see what happens. So it is Andreas' turn. And I'm going to have him move 1, 2, 3. I'm going to actually spend... So what actually I'm going to do, I'm going to go here. Move a hero, move 3, heal 2, and bash. May make an attack of +0 hit. So I'm going to heal him 2 and let him make an attack. However, it is a -2 attack. But I do get a +2 because, or +3 because of him. So it's a +1 to my hit. 17 will do it. And that will 1, 2. And big guy is goners. And we get another little level up heroes here, a bonus buff. I am definitely going to have Azriel take his +2 health there. And Andreas is going to take another focus. So that was just one cube action. So I'm going to have him do focus 1. To get that 3rd focus, and cleanse 1 to get rid of that. However, then he will do a willing recall, and he will bring that curse right back to where it was at. Alright, and now we will draw 2 runes. We draw 1 orange, which is a straight, and 1 red, which is a small thing, a small corner. And it is actually going after Andreas. He's got 1 extra health here. And this first straight one is actually going to break up into 3 little pieces. Since that straight cannot fit on the board, yet these 3 will be able to get close to him. So that one goes away. And then this one will get him in the water. But he doesn't get any damage because he's got that darkness resistance. That's perfect, actually. And now we move back to Azriel's turn. And he's going to go 1 and do a free action to open up that chest. Let's just hope he doesn't get burned again. Yeah! Nothing happened. Draw another treasure token and... Ooh! Discard to remove a trauma cube from the board. That might be good because I have healed him, but because he's the front guy, he might get killed. So that's actually perfect. I'm okay with that. So that was 1 movement. I'm being reckless again, and I'm gonna open the door before Andreas has a turn because he's got that helper power. So I'm gonna keep going with it, and because I'm a little stronger because I'm like leveling up every time, so I'm really strong. So it's fun. All right, so here we have the door opened to right here. As you can see, we got Executioner, Skeleton Archer, Shadow Vampire, and Shadow Cultist. We've got the Shadow Archer and Shadow Cultist on their standard form with 9 health each. And then we have the standard Shadow Vampire and the alternate Executioner at 12 and 15 respectively. We will see how this goes. So I've only used 1 of his 5 movement because Azriel has that +2 movement. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Or do I want to stay out down here? So I'm going to stay down here, actually, because if I stay down here, the Shadow Cultist will not be able to get me. I do have a -2 to my attack, but we'll try it out. So I will do this self-entropy 2. 1, 2. And if it's affected by Intimidate, it's doubled, which it's not, but that's okay. And a +0 hit. 10. Oh, and that's an 8. So that is a hit to the Executioner, which is 1, 2, 3. And I will self-entropy 1, which will give me my 4th one again, and 2 +0 hits, which are both 2 -2 hits. Let's try these out. 15! Alright, let's go. 1, 2, 3. And last one here. 15! Oh, did you see that was almost on the 3? And 1, 2, 3. But I can entropy, and that lets me intimidate 2. However, I noticed I did this wrong. The Executioner is immune to intimidate, and I intimidated before. I'm not going to go back and change it, but I did do that wrong. My bad. So intimidate 2, I will intimidate the Skeleton Archer because he's the one that's going to attack me this turn. Skeleton Archer is yellow, so I will intimidate him too. And now I get another cube action. Oh, I forgot to give him 2 damage from that burn. That sucks. And I'm just going to self-shield 2, so I get another 2 shield. I get to move 2, which I need to be able to attack him with that red cube. And then I get a +0 hit, which is actually -2 still. 18. Man, where's the 16 plus attacks, man? Come on. Alright, so that is 3 more damage. 2, 3. Awesome. He's almost down already. Now it is Shadow Vampire's turn, and he's got 5 movement, but he's melee. So 5 movement will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However, he's melee, so that he can't attack. And now it is Andreas' turn. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3. Once again, he doesn't take any of that damage, which is super nice. And the first thing I'm going to do here is target ally may move 3 and make an attack of +0 hit and +1 damage. That way he can move forward. So actually I'm going to have him move 1, 2, 3. He's going to get attacked by the Shadow Cultist, but this way he can attack both of these guys. So he gets a +0 hit, +1 damage. I don't have the -2 anymore, but I do have the +3 from Andreas. 5. But I have the +3, so that is a hit. And it was +1 damage, but that doesn't matter. But I do kill the Executioner. And that means I get another skill cube. So I'm going to have this heal 1, cleanse 1, and +3 hit. So I'll get another melee cube. And I'm actually going to take this jump 3, self-entropy 1, and stealth Azriel and take another green cube. Now, we still have one more turn with Andreas. So I'm going to use another... Then I'm going to use this blue to target ally makes an attack of +0 hit. So I will attack the Shadow Vampire twice with a +3 to hit. 16 will do it. I'm attacking the green one. 1, 2, 3. For the second attack. Oh, no, a natural 1. Well, that's all right. I haven't missed for a while. I'll take that miss. All right. So that is the end of his turn. And the Skeleton Archer's turn. He's got multi-shot 2, poison 1. And 3 damage. Ooh, that's good. And he cannot get both of us, so he will just take 2 steps forward to attack Azriel. Yeah, and he cannot get to Andreas, so he'll go 1, 2. But he's only doing 3 damage, which I can prevent, so nothing else happens. That was awesome. Oh, no, actually, look at that. I have all these shields, so the shields block it all. Perfect. Now it's the Shadow Cultist's turn. He got 3 movement. 1, 2, 3. And he cannot reach, so that's all he does. And I kill the Executioner, so we will now draw 2 runes. Oh, no, we drew 2 runes last time. I forgot to flip this over, so we will now draw 1 rune and a red L. And it is actually going after Andreas because Azriel's weaker, which is fantastic because Andreas does not get hurt by the darkness. That's so powerful. So powerful. And it is now Azriel's turn again. Back to last Azriel's turn, I forgot to do the a willing recall, my bad, which I always do, so I'm going back and doing it. I don't care what you say. But I am going to block probably this one, because I don't think I'm ever going to try to intimidate myself too. That's just, it hurts too much, I think. And I'm going to take 1 step forward here, that way I'm adjacent to these 2, so just in case if I kill one, I can attack the other still. And I really want the Shadow Vampire dead, because he goes before Andreas goes again. So I'm going to go after the Shadow Vamp. And he still has 9 health. I'm going to self-entropy 1 and 2 +0 attacks. 16! I will take it. That means he goes 1, 2, 3. Second attack. 9, that'll do it. 1, 2, 3. I just need one more basic attack here. So let's just go self-entropy 2, just because I like getting all that entropy. +0 hit, which is just a normal attack because he does not have intimidate. 15 will do it as well. And 1, 2, 3. Shadow Vampire is a goner, which I get another hero class. I'm gonna go +1 to hit for every 2 shield that you have. He doesn't really attack much, but I don't know what else to get. So yeah, we'll do that. And over here, we're gonna do +1 to all my attacks here. And at the beginning of this turn, I forgot to take care of that. And that was my 2 cube actions. I killed the Shadow Vampire, so it is Andreas' turn. So Andreas is gonna go 1, 2, 3. Ooh, he is within range of the Skeleton Archer now. So what he's going to do is he's going to 1 damage and stun to the Skeleton Archer. 1 damage and stun to the Skeleton Archer. I'm going to spend my 2 shield to have another hero within cube range to make an attack. Oh, right here, sorry. Make an attack of +0 hit, which is really +3. So I'll roll for him. And that's a 19, that'll hit. That's another 3. 1, 2, 3. And I will just make an attack himself, which he hasn't done in a while. Self shield 2 +2 hit, but he is down 2, so it's actually just a normal +0 hit. Come on, good roll. 17! Yes! Which that means 2 things. 1, I get to remove a darkness tile from the board, which actually isn't too powerful right now, but I don't know, it doesn't really matter. Take away that one, I guess. And whenever you roll 16 plus, the target ally may move 3 and make an attack of +0 hit and +1 damage. So first of all, I did hit. 1, 2, 3. Azriel may attack him with a +3 to this hit. 14 will do it. And now we'll kill the Skeleton Archer. The stun did nothing. Skeleton Archer is gone. And we get another bonus buff. I'm going to take another focus for Azriel, as well as for Andreas, actually. Skeleton Archer's dead, and now it is the Shadow Cultist's turn. He's going to burn 1 and curse 1. So he's going to go after Andreas, which he can. Yep, 1, 2, 3. So he's within range of Andreas. And he is just going to self-prevent all damage. Bling! Oh yeah, so no damage, no curse, no bleed, burn, or anything. And now we will draw 2 ruins here. 1 gray U-shape and 1 T-red. Again, this is going after Andreas. So, even though this can be placed, it's going to get closer to him if it breaks up into 3. So it is going to break up. It's going to go 1, 2, and 3 to get on top of him. However, he does not get hurt because he has that power, which is amazing. Then the T-shape. Once again, I already know that T-shape's not going to fit. So it is just going to go 1, 2, and 3 to try to get to him, but it's not going to get to him. So no damage is taken. That worked out awesome, actually. And we flip that over. And it is Azriel's, man, I really wish I knew how to say his name. Azriel's turn. So he's just going to take 1 step there, and he's going to do self-entropy 1, +0 hit, and intimidate. But he has a +1, 6. Oh, with this +1, he barely hit. So that's 3 damage to him. 1, 2, 3. And intimidate 2. So I intimidated him 2. And then I'm going to entropy burst, which then I could intimidate another 2 onto him. And then I will make another attack that's self-entropy 1. And +1 damage per intimidate token. He's got 4, so that means this is 7 damage, and it's the +1 roll. And it's a 13, that's a hit. And that was 7 and 6, so that kills him. Shadow Cultist is gone, and we get to get another hero skill. I'm going to get this one, Ancestral Recall, Self-Entropy 2, and Focus 1. And get another blue cube. And for Andreas, I'm going to take Breakthrough, +2 hit, double damage, and Bash. Have another hero attack. So I get another cube. However, now that we have killed all the heroes, we are going to jump to the boss battle. Alright, here we have dropped down into the boss battle. We'll go over the rules real quick. He's going to have 30 times as many heroes as there have. So he's going to have 60 health. Then we're going to take a free recall action for both of them. We're going to take off all curse cubes, and for each one, we're going to add 5 health to him. So that means he has 75 health. And then for any trauma cubes we had, he would gain 10 health, and we gain all of our health back. We get rid of any negative conditions if we had any, but we keep any positive conditions. And basically at that, so the boss is going to attack at each of these cards. And this card goes away, the darkness is not going to spawn. And I'll go through each of these cards when we get to them. So at first, Azriel gets to go. So here we have Azriel all the way from the Undead King. Oh, these Skeleton Archers are just minions, so they have 3 health each. However, they are going to spawn every round. However, this is really bad for Azriel because he cannot be intimidated, which Azriel, that's kind of what he goes off of. So kind of sucks that he's not going to be as good, but we'll see what we can do. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do have to take 2 damage, take darkness damage. And then I'm actually going to spend my 2 focus to do this +0 hit jump 3, plus 0 hit. And this first one I'm attacking this blue skeleton archer. 15, that'll do it. So that actually kills the skeleton archer. And then I get to move 3, so I'll move right there, and then I'll attack the Undead King. That's 19. So close. And no 16 plus still, right? Yeah, no 16 plus. But that is 3 damage. 1, 2, 3 to the Undead King. I still have not done a single cube action yet. So let's go ahead and go like this. Self-entropy 2. 1 and 2. And plus 0 hit, which is a plus 1 because I have that natural plus 1, which is a 15. So 1, 2, 3, down to 69. So close. And for his next one, he's going to do this self-entropy 1 and 2 plus 0 hits. 12 is a hit. And 6 is a hit because I have a plus 1. So that's 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's down to 63. Now I will burst for 2, or burst for 1, and intimidate for 2, which I will intimidate that skeleton archer because he's going to attack and do something. So I intimidated him too. So now with my plus 1 action, I'm going to go self-entropy 1, plus 0 hit, intimidate 2, which that intimidate doesn't do anything, which kind of sucks. 12, that will hit. So that's 3 more to the Undead King. Alright, we did 15 damage, we're down to 60. And then he's going to discard this to 5 damage. Telekinesis 3 and stun, which those two don't do anything. But I will do 5 more damage. Down to 5, down to 55. However, that is all she wrote. I cannot do a unwilling recall or willing recall. Therefore, we go on to the first enemy or first boss card, which says draw 2 ruins but do not place the respective darkness tiles on the board. Then summon 1 skeleton archer per player. So we drew 2 ruins, which we'll put on here, which just makes him stronger. Then we'll spawn 2 more skeleton archers. Put them on the board here. Now it is Andreas' turn. So once again, I think he's just going to attack through Azriel because, I mean, why not? However, he is far away, so I do have to use my blue and green cubes. I'm going to use my green to tell our ally makes an attack of plus 0 hit, plus 0 hit. So he gets to make 2 attacks here. 17. Why does he not have 16 plus? This is so frustrating. That is 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. And another plus 3 to roll to his hit. Or, oh, barely. So 1, 2, 3. Down to 49 already. So that was 2 there. I'm really wondering if this is like target ally. Because make an attack of plus 0 hit, like usually doesn't say that unless it's telling you that someone else can do it. So I really wonder if that's what that's supposed to mean. I'm not sure why that's worded differently there. I am going to move him here though, just to be a little bit closer. And then I will use my other green cube to target ally may move 3 and make an attack of plus 0 hit and plus 1 damage. So we'll do this roll. It's got a plus 3. That will do another 17. So that's 3 more damage. 1, 2, 3, down to 46. And that is all that he can do. So we'll go on to the next boss card, which says resolve all conditions affecting the Undead King, which he has none. Then he attacks all enemies that are within range 1 of X plus 2 damage. Ooh, that is lucky we only have 1 there. So that means he's only doing 3 damage to Azriel, which is not too bad of a thing actually, because he will just prevent 3 right there, which prevents all of it. And now it goes on to the next one, which is each hero suffers curse 1. Then Undead King attacks each hero, dealing X damage to each, no matter the range, which is only 1. So he will block that with that shield, and he will block that with that shield. Each suffer 1 curse. We'll go there, and we'll go there. Now we go here, and we have the Undead King jumps to the strongest heroes area. Each character in that area is thrown into the darkness pool. Ooh, Azriel's is the strongest. Dang. I was thinking he was going to jump to Andreas. He's going to just jump right there. He gets pushed in the pool and does get hurt for 2. But that's all that's there. And this one is activate all minions. We do have 3 minions. So the minions, we have way more than 3. So 3 plus they have a move 4, range 1, and damage 3. However, they are in darkness. Therefore, they get a plus 2 to all their hits. So they're going to do 5 damage. Right now, Andreas is actually stronger. So this first one is going to attack Andreas. He does have an Intimidate 2, so he's only doing 3 damage. And Andreas will prevent 3, so nothing happens. That means this blue one is going to attack him as well with 5 damage. And Andreas is going to prevent 3 of it, so he takes 2 hit. Boom, boom. Oh, except for that's there. So we only took 1 damage. And now Azriel will get hit because they're even, and Azriel's further up in the initiative, and he could see him. So Azriel takes 5 damage. But he is going to prevent 2 of it. So 1, 2, 3, and move 2, which is going to go 1, 2. Therefore, he's already up there to attack. And that is all the minions. So it is Azriel's turn again. So what we're going to do here is we'll do self entropy 1 and a +0 hit, which is +1 because I have a natural +1, which is a 12. That does 3 more damage. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to go self entropy 2, 1, 2, and focus 1, which brings me back to 1 focus. But because I did that, now I can burst. I'm going to give the intimidate back to one of the skeleton archers. And now I get 1 more attack, which I will join the fray, which is shielding 2. Oh no, I can't do that. Never mind, because then I won't be adjacent for Andreas's turn. I'm just gonna focus 1 and cleanse 1 then, and then take a willing recall. And when I take any recall, I get to entropy 2. 1 and 2. Booyah, I like that. And now actually, I'm gonna use this focus, so I get 2 more attacks. 8, that's 1 hit, and the other one, 15 is another hit, so that's 6 more damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Down to 37. We're almost halfway already. Actually, that is almost exactly halfway from 75. And now, that will end his turn. So we will come to this boss card, and we'll draw 2 ruins. And we draw 2 green, so we'll stack those. We will spawn 1 more skeleton archer, because we cannot have more than 4. And now it is Andreas' turn. So he is going to go 1, 2, 3. He does not get hurt by the darkness. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3. We'll go self-shield 2. Cleave 2 and +0 hit. He actually has a -4 to his hit, but he can attack both of these. A -4 to the Undead King and a -2 to the Skeleton Archer. So we'll hope for a high roll. Come on. 13. 13 will do it. -4, that's a 9. So that's 3 more. 1, 2, 3. And I killed the blue one. So I killed the blue one. So that was 1. And then I'll do this as a +2 hit, so this is only -2, but it is double damage. 15 will do it, so that's 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, down to 28. And then I will heal 2, which I'll only heal 1. Shield another 2, and make another attack. It produces another -4, but that's alright. 12 will do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't believe I just hit all those with a -4 to my roll. Alright, so now that's everything there. He will make a willing recall here and put another curse cube on that one, I guess. And that will be the end of his turn. We'll move on to the blue. Resolve all conditions affecting the Undead King, which we don't have. Then he attacks all enemies that are within range 1. And X +1, so that's just another 3 damage to, both of them, because they're both within range 1. So he will prevent 3 there. And I think he's just going to take all 3. No, he'll prevent 3, so he'll be right there. Yeah, I'm okay with that. And then each hero suffers curse 1 and is dealt 1 damage. So 1 damage, whoops, like that. 1 damage there. And each get another curse. We'll just do that one there. And he gets another curse. Whew, man. Oh man, I don't know. We'll do that one, I guess. And then it's green, where he jumps to the strongest one, which is actually going to be Andreas. So he's going to push Andreas there, which doesn't do anything, but he's there now. And now all of the minions activate. The yellow gets a -2 to the attack. Strongest here is Andreas. 1, 2. He get to Andreas there, so that's 5, but that's -2, so 3 damage to Andreas. 3 damage to Andreas. He will prevent 3. Now the pink one will attack Andreas, which is another 5. He will block 1 or 3, so he'll get hit for 2. Green one goes 1, 2. Attacks Andreas for another 5. And Andreas will just take that 5, I guess. Down to 3. Woo, buddy. And that means it's back to Azriel's turn. Let's see what we can't do here. He's going to move 1, 2, so he's adjacent. And what we are going to do is we're going to jump, which I don't need to do, but I am going to self-entropy 1 and stealth. That means for my next attack, I'm going to do this, self-entropy 1. That means my first attack is going to get double, which is 11, which is a hit. So that was a double because I was in stealth. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, down to 18 health already. Then, so that was my 2 cube actions. However, I'm going to burst here. So I get to intimidate 2 again, which I'll intimidate the yellow one again. And I will self-entropy 2, 1 and 2, and +0 hit. 7, that will do it. 1, 2, 3. Down to 15 damage. That's all I could do there. I can't take a recall action. I really wanted to do a recall action. So now it goes to here. Draw 2 more runes. We got a gray and a green, and we'll spawn the blue skeleton archer back. And now Andreas' turn. Andreas is going to go 1, 2. That way, well, we'll just go right here. Then he's still adjacent, and yeah, we'll go like that. So he can attack. He could go self shield 2, cleave 2, plus 0 hit, which is a -2 hit. That's that 17. I'm gonna take that 17, which does, we'll first do the shield 2, cleave 2, which he is next to these two because I put him in that corner there, but he can't really go. He's like right there. But cleave 2, so I kill this skeleton archer and do 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. And then on my 16 plus, I get to take away a darkness, which doesn't do anything, but I can also make someone attack with +1 damage. So I will have him attack with +1 damage, which is a 17, which will do 4 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down to 8 health already. And that was just 1 cube action. And I will heal 2. 1, 2. Alright, so I'm going to come here, +2 hit and double damage. And then I get to have another one person attack. And another 17. So I did double damage. So that's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I get to have him attack for +1 damage, which is the 11. And that takes him out. And the Undead King. Ooh, he took us out too. Undead King flies away. So that was just an overview of these 2 new characters. Right, the gameplay was just for fun. It was really just to show you how these guys can play off of each other. Having Andreas as leader, I thought it was really cool. And Azriel with those entropy, oh my goodness, that was amazing. Always bursting with those. Once again, I know that was super easy because I was leveling up every single time I killed an enemy. Super cool. If you want more Chronicles of Drunagor stuff, go ahead and subscribe and like this video so I can do more. Absolutely love this game. By far my favorite game. So I want to be able to make more. Let me know if you want certain characters, a certain thing. I do want to do a video comparing all the heroes because there are so many. But let me know what your favorite hero is down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.